I want to welcome Agile XRM to the podcast. I've known the people at Agile XRM for the past 12 years. I've seen how their business process management tool can add massive value to complex organizational processes in sectors such as finance and government. If you have complex processes or a need for dialogues on the Power Platform or Dynamics 365, take a look at how this BPM tool can add value. You can find them at agilexrm.com or check out the show notes for more details. Welcome to the MVP Show. My intention is that you listen to the stories of these MVP guests and are inspired to become an MVP and bring value to the world through your skills. If you have not checked it out already, I do a YouTube series called How to Become an MVP. The link is in the show notes. With that, let's get on with the show. Today's guest is from Ireland. He works for Storm Technologies as a Dynamics 365 developer. He became an MVP in 2022, so nice and fresh, first quarter of this year. He's a blogger, Power Platform enthusiast, and PowerApp Portal maker. Some exciting stuff happening in that space at the moment. You can find him on Twitter at Khoa Nguyen. Now, we'll get him to confirm that. And his website, DYNCRMEXP, standing for dynamicscrmexpert.com, is where you'll find him. Khoa, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Excellent. Let's get right. Now, your Twitter handle, how do you tell people how to find you on Twitter?
So that my name and initial name for my last name. Mm-hmm. That's Khoa Nguyen.
Excellent. And so Khoa is how to pronounce your first name?
Yes, that's correctly.
Okay, so this is where the English does you a disservice, right? And getting the pronunciation right doesn't work for your favor. So where were you from originally? As in, what's your origin story as a nationality-wise?
I'm from Vietnam.
Vietnam, wow.
Yes. I just moved here to Ireland just for a year in Ireland. So just exactly 1 year in Ireland.
Oh, wow. So how have you find because if you've moved there and you've been there 1 year, you moved in the pandemic while the pandemic was on, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
It was tough, yeah.
I bet, man. Take my hat off to you. That's legendary. Before we go, let me just get I want to find out your background because you, Vietnam's been on my radar for a long time. I'm very interested in your country and people. Yeah, I worked for a company a while ago and we had 250 resources in Vietnam. We had done an acquisition and we had a team of 250 odd staff in Vietnam. And I always was hoping that I'd get to go there, and then the entire part of the organization got sold. And I was like, tell me about first of all, tell me about what you do when you're not doing biz apps, when you're not traveling from Vietnam to Ireland. Tell me about what you do for fun. What do you do for entertainment? Tell us a bit about your family and your favorite food.
Okay, so I'm married. I'm father of two beautiful kids here. For fun, I don't really have anything too much exciting. I love to hang out with friends and going out with my family, have quality time for my family, take my kids to the parks and go out shopping. Nothing fancy, but yeah, I enjoy that very much. And food, I'm still getting used to food here in Ireland. There's a lot of difference in taste compared to what we have in Vietnam. So, but I love food, Asian food in general. I love Vietnamese food. I miss Vietnamese food, and I love Asian. So I try to look for Asian food in here in Ireland. But I do enjoy some Irish dishes as well. That's it.
When I was in Ireland, I was on a tour bus in Dublin, and the coach driver, so an Irish person, said this joke that I'm going to tell you. and you can decide whether you use it. And he asked, has anyone had a 7-course Irish dinner? And of course, nobody had had a 7-course Irish dinner. And he said, it is potatoes and a 6-pack of Guinness. So, because their love of Guinness, right? Are you
Yeah.
are you located in Dublin, or are you outside Dublin? Where are you located?
Outside Dublin, just 20 minutes away.
Nice. So you just take a train there, or are you
Yeah.
close to the Microsoft's office?
No. I use train to go to the office, but since I came here, I just work from home, which is not too bad in my opinion. Not too bad.
First of all, I want to find out, how did you get a job in Ireland? Tell us about that. While the pandemic was on, tell us about how that worked out for you. How did it come about?
Okay, so I when I so first I started not with dynamic CRM, but with C++ at the beginning as a developer, and then I got a job. I developed an application on mobile, and then back then I want to change my path from C++ to something else, something trendy, which is mobile development. And then I applied for a job, and I got in at a leading outsourcing company in Vietnam, and I got in, but unfortunately I don't have any project yet, so I was put on bench, and then that means I need to wait, and then while I'm waiting, I need to do some research, do some POC projects, and then I got an opportunity to learn in a training course to learn dynamic CRM back then, and then I stuck with it. I enjoy it, and I stuck with it, and then I changed to a different company, which is also an outsourcing company, and then I do a lot of development in dynamic CRM online, and then this is a company, a partner of my company, and then that's the way it started. So the partner like what I did, what I offered them. I did a lot of development back then, but I don't have any idea that I can work for them. So that is Storm Technology. So back then, so I just join a different projects, and then I moved to another company for 1 year or more, not in contact with Storm, and then I got a message from Storm. Okay, hey, we looking for a developer. Do you want to join? Yeah, of course. I love to. I know Storm before, and then I started with working from Vietnam remotely, because and then they finally offer a full-time job, and then I can move to Ireland. So when they offer the to the full-time job, I that was late 2020. So that was when everything started. And then no, not 2019 or 2020, yeah. And then I need to wait for my employment permit and visa, and then everything get delayed because of the COVID situation. And then finally, after 1 year of waiting, I moved to Ireland.
Wow. This is a good story. This is a good story because I know many people that have a similar background to what you talked about, right? They're in an offshore or outsourcing company working for, and they can't see how they could transfer to another location, etc. But you've given a great story about how you've done it, and in a troubled time, right, with massive barriers like COVID, and of course getting your visa in place. But obviously, you had shown that you had skills that they wanted, and I think that's an interesting thing, because I always find when people have got some great skills and they're really good at it, good companies will find them, right, and give them an opportunity to work. And and I think that that's so amazing. And you've obviously become an MVP as well. So you've transitioned there, and now you become an MVP. How did you get on the, let's say, the MVP radar? How did you get discovered? Who put you up for nomination, and how was that MVP process for you?
Okay, so back then, when I was doing a lot of development in the outsourcing company, so there are not many projects in Dynamics CRM back then in Vietnam, and then it's hard to look for any resources to learn or to train to figure out some problem within the system. And I always reach out to international forum, Microsoft forum, and different places. And I think that, okay, why don't we have anything in Vietnam, in Vietnamese, and basically a community, so we can discuss, we can share knowledge. That's when I started to think about. And then there's another guy, a senior, who started with CRM 4 version 4, which is earlier than me. So I happened to meet him, and then we had the same idea, and then we started to bring in our connections, set up meetup offline back then, but it was just a group of developers, and then we don't really have any agenda or any organizers properly, so things get faded. And then when I actually have more opportunity, when the COVID came, and then I have more time online, and I think we can set up online meeting instead of because it was hard to get everyone's in a offline location. So why don't we set up online meetup, and then that's when I started. So back in 2019, I started setting up online meeting, and then set up speakers. So as first I am the speaker, and the other guys are the speaker only. So, and then I invited more people to join as speakers, and then the community grows. We have a community on Facebook, so the community grows, everything get involved, and then Dynamics 365 becomes more popular in Vietnam, and then we now have more people joining in. Yeah, the inspiration I got from a guy from Asian business applications community. So he's from Singapore, another one from Thailand, another one from Philippines, and everyone Malaysia, and everyone in Asian community group there. So I got inspired by him. So he suggested, why don't you start everything in Vietnam, like what we did here with different countries, with different communities here. So that's the starting point for me. So I set up everything, and then I can just keep doing it, keep sharing, keep everything going more than until now. So then I finally got the MVP. So Panchabon from Thailand, she is a Microsoft employee, so she nominated me, and I got MVP.
This is an epic story. I love this story because, correct me if I'm wrong, you ran all your virtual user groups, you ran them in Vietnamese, right?
Yes.
Fantastic. I get questioned a lot from people that don't speak English as their first language around, do I need to do all my contributions in English? Is that the model I need to use? And I'm like, no, you should do it in your native language so that more people in the community of where you're located. And I think what you've done in Vietnam is like a template that could be applied all over the world. I think it's absolutely amazing that you've done that, and so really, really well done. And I loved that. It's just such a good story. It's an exciting story to me. I mean, while you were saying it in my mind, I'm like, I want to get out a map and go, which country in the world doesn't know about the Power Platform and Dynamics 365, and can I find people in those countries that maybe are using it but not like got a community together? Because I think the community of people just like you in your own country, your own origins, etc., is so important, in your own language, right? And bring all the rich culture that you have to it. I think that's amazing. So I take it that you're still heavily involved with that, even though that you're in Ireland now.
Yes, I'm still I'm heavily involved. So I want to grow the community in Vietnam. So I keep contributing. So there's a team in Vietnam, some guys in Vietnam helping me now with the organizing online events now. So I can focus on something else. So I'm looking to nominating another guys in Vietnam communities who is helping me. So I hope we can have another MVP in Vietnam.
I love
maybe
it.
This
I
year.
love it.
Yeah.
Tell me about PowerApp Portals. Are you spending a lot of time now in Portals specifically?
Yeah. So I spend a lot of time in Portal now. So lately, in the past few months, I am working on Portals a lot. So I kind of like it. So I worked with ADX Studio before, so which is an advantage for me. So and I can and now I can apply what I have learned, and then I can do it for real now. So
I love it. That's so cool. I'm so impressed that your whole story, your journey is amazing. So are you also doing a lot from a blog perspective? Are you you're obviously doing a lot from an events perspective with your community. What about blogging and things like that?
Blogging, not so much. So I blog at first when I started. I do blogging. I answer questions on forum, but it's not. So I move my focus from blogging to organizing events, to connecting people, meeting people. So now I have more time to focus on blogging, or maybe building something in for the community now, because we already have a team to take care of organizing events now. So I'm looking for building maybe a PCF control, which is I'm also working on that, and also maybe blogging about Portal as well. So I'm trying to apply modern front end development into Powerapp Portal. So I'm doing TypeScript development, also applying some modern front end framework like Tailwind, and we combine that with the out-of-box Bootstrap, so we can have something better instead of the out-of-box one. So usually with out-of-box, we don't have much in terms of UI UX. You need to do a lot of custom. So with the help of TypeScript and modern CSS framework like Tailwinds, we can have something more fancy.
I like it. Tell me about the last 3 projects that have involved Portal. Don't tell me the company names, but tell me kind of what type of industries were they in and why did they need the portal?
Okay, so one is the there's one relating to the service in courts. So like jury service.
Yes.
So where you where they can send out jury summons, and then the citizen can log into the portal and then reply to the summons. So that's one. And then another one is what is it? How can I say? That's a recycling company. So which allow partners or members to submit their statistics in terms of materials they need to recycle. So that's interesting. So those are very there's heavy customization on Portal, because one is heavy in front end because that's citizen UI UX, a lot of heavy in UI UX, and the other one is heavy in business because there are a lot of numbers which need to be calculated correctly and a lot of validation. So yeah.
What was the authentication method you used in the citizen scenario? Are you just letting folks authenticate via, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, anything like that, or set up their own email address specifically? How are you handling that? Or are you using, or can you, because I'm not familiar yet with Azure Active Directory when it comes to for a B2C. Are you using that model at all?
No, we are using local authentication. So we can set up the PIN number. So basically, it's a password.
Yeah.
But we
very cool.
We can call it PIN number, and then we can include it in the jury summon letter, which is sent out to the citizen, so they can log with the PIN. So we don't need to set up. They don't need to set up anything. They don't need to figure out how to Facebook, how to Google. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm glad I asked you that question because I just learned something very important there. That's brilliant. Well, it's been so good to have you on the show. Can you pronounce your name for me again because I haven't nailed it?
Khoa.
Yes, excellent. It's been such a pleasure to have you on the show. You are the type of individual that really excites me about the possibility of this community. And I've been in here a while, but I am so impressed with your story. Thank you so much for sharing it.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for listening. I'm your host, Business Application MVP Mark Smith, otherwise known as the NZ365 Guy. If you like the show and want to be a supporter, check out buymeacoffee.com/NZ365 Guy. Thanks again, and see you next time.